today we're in a different setting because it's not my house, but we are reading a My Whole post. I'm never going to stop this series because I love judging, and today is a special episode because we are reacting to assholes and assholes only. There's no people who were kind and got shitted on, it's only assholes because I want to be angry. If you like the video, if you want to see more My Whole thing, you can subscribe, like and comment. So the first post is a My Whole for refusing to go to my sister's wedding knowing that it means most of her family won't attend. I, 40 female, I'm significantly older than my sister, 25 female. As such, after she was born, I was repeatedly looked over and parentified by my parents in favor of her. Examples of this include giving my old clothes and toys to her without my permission rather than preserving them as a keepsake of my childhood. In short, my inner child has had to do a lot of healing over the years. I'm in low contact with my parents and sister, but apparently she's engaged and wants me to be a part of the wedding party. Now I'm not comfortable around children of any age. It is part of my trauma. Being around them for me comes with a sense of responsibility. That reminds me of the neglect I suffered at the end of my family. My sister knows this, so I assumed with her asking me to be in the wedding that the wedding would be child-free. During the discussion, she mentioned her fiance's best friend's daughter would be serving as floor girl and her cousin's son would be ring bearer. I reminded her that I would not be comfortable around children and expressed my disappointment that she would invite me to be in a wedding that is not child-free. She looked sad for a second and told me that there were many young children and families that are close to her and her fiancé, and the day would feel incomplete without them. And if I really wasn't comfortable around children to that extent, she would understand if I'm unable to attend. And I'm stopping that before reading the rest. So, this is an asshole pomade, alright? And asshole pomade means manipulation. Often on Reddit, when you read an asshole pomade, it's always manipulative people talking because they want to be right. They want to have the last word. And what do when they want to be right? They pass themselves as the victim. And let's say they have a 15-year gap. So you had 50 years with your parents, then they had the sister, which is probably, as time passed by, most of the time harder. And I'm not like questioning her past, but since in that she's an a-hole, since in that she's trying to play the victim, I'm pretty sure that she's saying everything and doubling up actually what really happened to put you on her side, because this is how it happens most of the time. So first of all, you're 15 years apart. I'm pretty sure that when you grow up, the clothes, you will never wear them again. Like, this is purely temper tantrum. Also, it's not your sister's job to make an entire accommodation around a wedding for you. And like she says herself, I understand if you're not uncomfortable. It's I don't know, let's continue. I didn't read that part. I was shocked that she would uninvite me in the favor of random kids, and it reminded me of being thrown aside in favor of her when we were young, so I left to collect myself. Here, victimization again. Again, she literally told you. She says that in her text, that for her, it would feel incomplete that the kids are not there because they are a part of her life. Because it's like her, like, she's close with some people who has kids, she knows those kids, and not inviting them would feel incomplete for her. It would not feel right because she wants them there. And like you said yourself that you were not in contact that much with her, meaning that you probably have the same worth for them. Like, you have equal worth. And if you're not happy about that, leave. I attempted to ask my parents to talk some sense into her, but surprise, surprise, they took her side. Of course they took her side. Anyone would take her side. At this point, I was deeply hurt and needed an outlet, so I did something that might make me TA. I am friends with some of her family members on Facebook, and I made a post about how my sister was kicking me out of the wedding and that my parents were taking her side. She did not kick you out. All because of the trauma that they contributed to themselves. I didn't go into detail because I didn't think it was anyone else's business. Yes, but you made a post on Facebook, knowing damn well that people would see that. This is manipulation, anyway. I just wanted to vent. Now people are apparently refusing to go to my sister's wedding unless I'm reinstated as part of the wedding. She and my parents are begging me to come, but still refuses to budge on the children being there. So it doesn't make much of a difference to me. I do feel bad because I didn't know that our family would refuse to come, but I cannot go to an event that has that many children running around or retract my statement because I don't want to family think I lied. Am I the a-hole for refusing to go? Yes, and yes. You are faulty, god damn it. And edit, for those who suggest in therapy, I am in therapy, yes. My therapist is incredible and helped me realize how heavily my past has affected me. I've yet to discuss the Facebook post with her, but we'll see what she has to say. God damn it. I hate you. I don't know you, I hate you. Like, as the youngest, you're the a-hole. Also, I'm in the whole past. Your parents giving you a hand-me-downs to your sister is not parentification, it's economics. You didn't lose your childhood because your sister wore your old sweatshirt or played in your old playpen. One could easily turn things around and your sister could complain that she was treated worse because while her older sisters got all her things new, she had to make do with 15-year-old leftovers. Oh, this is such a hard thing. That's what I tried to explain earlier, but I'm bad at explaining. Just because your sister had asked you to be at her side on one of the most important days of her life does not mean that she and her partner needs to scatter the entire event to your preferences. Their wedding is about them and what they want. Here, your sister didn't invite you. She accepted that you declined the invitation because apparently being within 100 feet of anyone under the age of 18 gives you eyes. Blasting all over social media deliberately omitting details so that she would look like the villain is the true cherry on the cake. My sister wanted children as a flower girl and a ring bearer for wedding, as is customary for almost every Western style wedding. I'm gutted that she would dare to do this because I once babysat her as a teenager, also pretty standard. Look, maybe there are details that you omitted where you actually neglected and abused by your family in favor of your younger sister, but the fact that you would choose to omit them rather than include them to your support, your point of view suggests to me that you know that you were not nearly as hard done by as you want people to believe. You're just selfish. Oh, this, I think I'm gonna cut part of most of my explanation and put this instead because it's exactly what I wanted to say. Well, they were all sure than me, but this is exactly that. Yeah, and apparently she responded to some comments and she was expected to do more chores than a child when you were a teenager, aka an adult. Like, it depends on the time where she was the babysitter at the time. You were expected as a teenager and an adult to make more chores than a child? Oh, poor girl, needs therapy now. I'm sorry, this... Am I the a-hole for forcing my son to sell the car? He is narrating. This didn't happen yet, but my whole family is fighting over this. I'll try to make this as short as possible. My father passed away in December. He owned a classic car. I believe it's a 50s Chevy Bel Air. My son, 17, is the only grandson he had. I have one sister who has 2 daughters, and I have 2 daughters along with my son, so there are 5 grandkids in total. My dad was never such of a girls guy. He always got along with the boys more than the girls. Him and my son were very close. He has left the car to my son in his will. The rest of the grandkids got $4,000 each. The vehicle is valued at $70,000. My sister is livid. I am very unhappy as well. It's just blatantly unfair to his 4 other grandkids. I don't understand the legality of the situation because it was left to him, but he's currently underage. The car is currently held at my mom's house. I don't know how to force him to sell it, but I don't think this is what should happen, and the money can be decided equally amongst the grandkids, the way it should be. My son is very upset about this. He says grandpa left him the car, so it's his car. I have money saved for his college. I'm almost considering telling him that this college money will be divided amongst his sisters and cousins if he refused to sell the car. Am I the a-hole? Yes, you are. This is not okay. This is not about the prejudice of the difference between girls and boys, because unfortunately this is sad in the story that they're like the difference the granddad did to the other kids because they were only girls is extremely sad and a truth to a society that sexism and misogyny is still quite here. But like now the dad situation is over because he's dead. You cannot change anything about that. The will has been made, the testament has been made. So the only thing is, it's your son's car, and you're more you're concerned about the money and equity. The problem is you're not considering your son at all. You're not considering yourself at all. It's like you're caring of everyone else but your son's feelings. He was super close to his grandpa, and he was gifted a car in the will because his grandpa died. Of course, he wants to keep the car. It would be so selfish for him to not, to force him and forcing. This is literally you trying to force something on someone who doesn't want it. And simply this, because you're the mom, you're an a-hole. It's unfair. The situation itself is unfair to have less than others because there is no equality, there's no equity. Okay, this one I did it. This is the cherry on the cake. Like we said just earlier, this is the exact definition when feminists say we hate men. The man in question, it's him. It's him. It's like the mansplaining. It's everything. Like, let me explain it to you. We hate men for this reason because you guys exist. And of course, it's not all men, but it's those men though, and they're way too present. Am I the a-hole for walking around my neighborhood at 10 p.m. at night and scaring my neighbor? I live in a very remote, mountainous region on a dark country road where there are no street lights. At night time, it is very black as the road is forested. The road is also private. I like to walk around at night time and do not use a flashlight, passing by neighbors' houses. There is no one around, so I don't think it's a big deal. Yeah, right, it's not a big deal. While I was heading back to my house at around 10 p.m., I saw a neighbor who I don't know personally walking to the end of the driveway who appeared to be bringing out a can. I moved quickly toward her direction because I must pass her house at night to get back to my own, and I shuffled my feet to let her know I was there. She eventually heard me in the dark, got scared, and ran back to her house. Her family was unloading their vehicle, and I heard her say to a family member that there was some weird guy on the road. She said this loudly so I could hear. I thought this was rude because she obviously knows I'm the neighbor. Maybe not, since this is a small community. So I started to flash my light at the end of the driveway and yelled at her if she needed my assistance. I didn't leave until she finally came to the road and told me no, she didn't need my help, to leave her alone, and I should use light and not sneak up on people at night because that's weird. She also said to her family member as she walked away that I was a prowler. She's entitled to be scared, but to say someone is a prowler when you know it's probably your neighbor is rude and obnoxious. I yelled at her that my eyes are adjusted to the dark and that she should be nicer to her neighbor. This is not a high crime area, so am I the a-hole for walking in the dark and not using a light and scaring a neighbor? Yes. First of all, let's put that into context. We have a man and a woman. So first of all, if you don't know what I mean is that there's a lot of creep following us around for absolutely no fucking reason, and that's probably what happened to that woman before. Therefore, why is she scared? Because she probably already lived that situation of a creep following her around, that it's in the day or in the night, whatever. It happens to a lot of us women. It's awful, awful. Why did you just not announce yourself? You see someone bringing out something and you're like not making any noise but shuffling your feet? Are we in the fucking Scream movies? Like, what's the purpose of scaring her? Like, no, you could have just said, hey, I'm the neighbor, do you want any help? No, you just go around sneaking, walking silently, and then suddenly making noise with your feet, walking around quickly, while she doesn't see you because, like you said, it's dark. While you are habituated, like your eyes adjusted to dark, not hers. And probably not her, because, like, you know, I don't think that woman goes a lot in the dark and roam around without a light in the dark either. I don't think she does that. This is assuming, of course, but since we are women, it would be dangerous of us to just walk around in the dark without any light, anything. We don't want to die or be kidnapped, thank you. Yeah, so this is just like, you're just a creep. You're just a weird-ass creep man, because first of all, you could have just said, hey, I'm here. You didn't. Second of all, you could literally just put the light on so she could see you, but you didn't. The only time you used your light was just to flick it. And then you screamed. It's helping a lot, screaming like that. And then she's clearly frightened and you're getting defensive. What I wanted to say is that you clearly could have announced yourself, and you're just a shitty ass man. This is all. You're a shitty man for thinking that, oh my god, why she got scared like that? Like, oh my god, oh my god. Like, no, certainly you didn't put yourself at her place. Like, anyone would be scared, actually. Why would you go around sneaking on people like that? Certainly not a good thing. It's really not a good thing. You're like shitty ass behavior. You're like trying to gaslight us into thinking like, oh, it's her fault, like she got frightened and like, oh my god, she's calling me a prowler. Like, you're walking around in the dark, not announcing yourself, not using light. The only thing we know about you is that you make noise with your feet. It's like typical Scream movies. Of course she's scared. Like, what? Like, seriously, hi, I'm your neighbor, do you need any help? We're finishing the video in the dark for some reason, and with a cat. She decided to join us. Well, we're finishing the video with a cat, and well, if you like the video, if you want me to talk more, to be angry more, just subscribe and I'll continue. Hi. And yeah, so we're going to continue that. I'm going to continue talk shit about people. I'm also going to, I think like I have a lot of plans and I'm going to do them. I hope you like the video and we will see each other, I don't know when hey, I don't know. This is why, well, I guess we'll see each other. I hope you liked the video. Okay, I'm reminding you, comment, like, etc. Subscribe, and yeah, I hope you liked it. Bye bye.